I felt called to bring in something special tonight for those who are feeling sensitive, who are picking up a lot of the energy that's in the atmosphere, and maybe you're taking on a little bit too much of that. You're having a hard time letting it just run through you, and also just really holding your own energy signature. And I thought, let's bring in something softening. Let's bring in something buffering. Let's bring in something that can soothe where things feel a little bit static, or smooth where things feel a little sharp edged. And so I'm going to just first, before we dive into this reading, where we're going to be consulting the angelic realm, because I find the angelic realm is always wonderful to bring in when there's a challenge with grounding the more ethereal energies. Just bringing in a little of this beautiful smoke cleansing for you. This is a very special incense that was gifted to me by Star Tree Dancer, and it's made by a friend of hers who incorporates sandalwood with mushrooms to make this beautiful incense. And I wanted to share a little bit of that magic with you. And apparently, if there's no mushrooms, there's no incense. So this is really a labor of love and made by the hands of someone who obviously really feels connected to the earth. And I just want to share a little bit of that beautiful grounding energy with you, even as it uplifts your energy and helps you connect with your own soul's essence, bringing in a little hawk medicine there with the feather to help you get a little space, a little perspective from what feels so activating for you. And to be able to get that bird's eye view, to know when it's time to invoke your Talon magic, to define your boundaries, to create space for yourself, to also take back your space. It's okay for you to have time and space to yourself. And sending a little support from the angelic realms to give you messages from Creator, messages from Great Spirit that will help guide you on your path through signs and synchronicities. And so we'll get some of those for you to be on the lookout for here. This is just a clear way all of that energy that you have taken on, that you've let into your space, that's weighing you down and that's keeping you in a holding pattern so you can find freedom and perspective and enlivening and enlightenment, and also a sense of being held and protected as you go through these changes, as you go through the changes that are rocking through the world, and as you go through the changes that are causing their own waves in your personal life, within yourself, how you're feeling, and just give you that support you need at this time to see signs that you are being guided, that you are being held, that you are supported, that you are loved, and that there's something of beauty here for you, no matter what you're moving through. On the other side of it, there's some beauty that will come through. And you do have strength of spirit with you. And you do have the strength of your roots. And you got what it takes to endure, come what may. And you're not alone. We're all in this together. Everybody in the world is rocking and rolling through some pretty heavy changes. And moving through unknown territory. We've never been here before. But when we can come together in community in ways where we can really show up for each other, support each other, and send a little love out into the world for those who are struggling or having a hard time, well, one by one, we can navigate this territory and find a way through by bringing a little bit of our light forward into the world. So just wanted to open up with that energy. And I did charge up a candle here. And this is a focal point. So anytime during this reading, whatever comes through, if you feel like there's something that stirs in you that needs to be released or transformed, please don't make it anything about somebody outside of yourself. This candle is charged up specifically to purify the self, okay? So it won't even take on anything like that, any intentions that involve another person. This is about looking at what qualities within yourself are needing transformation. So if you feel really stressed, then maybe you need support in being able to release that and move into relaxation. Or if you feel very guarded, you might need some support in taking down the walls or softening. So whatever comes up for you that's in need of support for transformation, you can just focus on this flame. Let this flame be a focal point for you during this read, whatever comes through. And this will be cleansed and purified and also give you some kind of light, some kind of clarity that can act as that light in the lantern of the hermit that's down at the south node that can help you through the darkness, something that can be a guiding point for you, okay? So this is the intention that's held within this. And I do want to make it clear when it comes to Reiki that I have been through all 3 levels of attunement in Reiki. Some call that master level, but I don't refer to it as that because I feel like we are here in this physical reality to always be learning, growing, and experiencing new things that we've never encountered before. So I feel like even as we work to master ourselves in terms of our lower impulses and what we need to do to transform our realities within so they can be evident without, is a lifelong journey. And we do go to different stages of cultivation and evolution within ourselves, but it's an ongoing process, okay? So that's why I don't use that word. I feel like we're always here to raise ourselves to the next level. And there really are no outside masters, save for the path itself can be a master that really teaches us how to cultivate these qualities within ourselves that take us out of the mud and the muck and the struggle and to that place where we're just open and allowing, and we observe what is rolling out on our path and we use it as a point of reflection, okay? And Reiki comes from the Usui lineage, and it is out of Japan. And there is no way to use Reiki in a distorted way, and you will hear people talk about this, but the very nature of Reiki is a purification energy. So if somebody is saying they're using Reiki in a distorted way, if you hear this, you might hear this out there in Tarot land. It's impossible. The very nature of the Usui tradition of true Reiki is purification. So there's no way it can be channeled to be used in a destructive way. If somebody is using what they call Reiki in a destructive way to manifest, then they're not working with Reiki. They're working with something else. It's impossible. It's not Reiki. Not all energy work is Reiki. It's kind of become a very blanket term for all energy work, and it's just simply not the case. Reiki is a very specific lineage tradition, and I personally went through my own process with it, went through those 3 levels of attunement over a period of 5 years. I worked with someone, Tomoko Hirooka from Japan, who learned within that actual lineage and passed it on to me. So I don't charge for Reiki. I share it. It's something that I feel is just meant to be shared with people to bring healing. So I infused this candle with Reiki for assistance in transforming whatever is making you feel blocked or held back, okay? And in order for you to receive it, you have to receive it willingly, okay? So it's nothing that can be projected onto you. That's the way Reiki works. There's always this need for agreement. So if you do wish to receive that support, you know, you can put your intentions into this candle and it will support you in your process of transformation. But you do have to say yes. And you can state that outwardly if you want. You can drop a comment saying, yes, I receive. I feel like that does amplify things. You know, it's really setting your intention. It's making it clear. And if you feel like putting in the comments what you are wanting support and transforming, that can just help us hold that intention even more solidly together as a community. But it's not necessary, okay? But do make sure that you are stating that to yourself, that you want to take that on. And if you don't want to, you won't take it on. It's quite simple, okay? So I really wanted to bring that in to open up because I did want to bring in a little bit of added support with this reading. We're going to open up first with the Archangel Tarot here. Let's bring in the heavy hitters, you know, and see what guidance they can give about what can best support you at this time, what the collective needs to hear at this time. For those difficult places, spaces that they're moving through, where they are feeling the constriction, where it's not easy to open up to what is coming up to be processed, what is coming up to be moved through, what is the collective needing to know to better navigate this territory, and also to move through what needs to be transformed with more ease, less resistance, and also to open up to the gifts that are there, to illuminate the gifts that are there, even when moving through that really rough territory. And in no way am I minimizing that whatsoever. I fully understand what it's like to move through real heavy territory. And platitudes aren't helpful at a time like that. It's really true. And there are times when there's nobody that can offer you any kind of comfort, and you do feel alone. And in a very real sense, you are alone in that experience at that time. I mean, we're born alone, even when there's, you know, others around us there in that delivery room. The process of going through birth is arduous, and you feel alone. And you don't know what to expect when you pop out the other side of that birthing canal. And that's sort of the space that we're all in here. So it's okay. It's okay to feel alone. We're born into the world alone, and, you know, we leave alone too. But we're never really truly alone when we are able to connect to our soul's essence. And so I think that's what this reading is coming through for, to help people really connect with that sustenance, their soul's essence. So let's see what the archangels have to say to the collective here, what they need to know at this time. Bottom of the deck, I like this, okay? So we have Ace Michael. This is Swords energy. So Michael's here, Archangel Michael coming on through saying, I'm lending you my sword to help you cut through illusions. I'm lending you my sword to help you cut off what no longer serves you. I'm lending you my sword so you have the courage to see the truth, so you can speak the truth, so you can stand in the truth, so you can walk in your truth, so you can find your balance, so you can claim your justice. I'm lending you my sword and my golden shield to help you ward off anything that you feel like you're taking on unwittingly because you've been tired. You've been depleted. You've been on the long road home. It's been rough. There's times when you have taken on out of you're caring for others things that are not yours to hold. You're starting to recognize that you have to show up. You have to represent yourself. You have to be there for yourself. You have to be strong. Sometimes that's a really fierce lesson, but you're not alone. I'm here. You have protection. You have protection as you reclaim your power. You have protection as you reclaim your truth. You have shielding for any outside energies or forces or disturbances in your environment that are trying to distract you from stepping into this moment of inner authority. You have my protection. You have my support. You also have some kind of inspiration coming in here. Archangel Michael wants you to be aware of a new idea that's coming your way. And when this comes in for you, this inspiration, do not be distracted. Do not allow the bumps in the road to hinder your progress. Do not allow the obstacles to defeat you, but rather look at them as a way to refine you, to prepare you, to really step up into what is before you. And it does make me really think about this, that when you are reaching up to the next level within yourself, things get tougher. They don't get easier, they get tougher. Yeah, you know, it's kind of like this light is it's ebbing and flowing, you know. You move through dark territory and then something's illuminated. Oh, okay, I see this now. And then things grow dark again, but the light always returns. It's like these ebbs and flows here. You may need to clear up your communication. You may need to speak more clearly with others. It may be time to communicate. You can't necessarily anticipate that everybody knows what you need or what you feel if you're not communicating. And if there is communication blockage, there might be something around that relates to how somebody is communicating, or the route they're trying to go to communicate with another that needs to be resolved. Somebody could be wearing a mask. They're communicating, but they're not communicating as themselves. I could see this as maybe somebody's using like a screen name, you know. They have their identity hidden. This could be online communication, or this could be wanting to communicate with somebody in a specific way, like wanting to communicate with somebody in person or wanting to communicate with somebody on the phone. And yet that may not be communication that's welcomed at this time. It may not be appropriate considering the situation. This may be needing to communicate in a different way. This may mean sending an email, or this may mean communicating from the heart, you know, to yourself, getting in touch with what you're feeling. So there's something about communication as well in relation to this situation, or how to get your ideas across too, especially in relation to your inspirations. But I do feel like there's a thread of something that's trying to be healed here, and there's blockages or resistance around that. Maybe because of communication, like how something's been communicated in the past, or there's something that doesn't feel like it's the right space being held around communication, okay? And whatever this idea is that you're getting or inspiration, you should act on it. Appears like there's a need to set something in motion. You'll be protected in that. Okay. It's interesting. I felt like shuffling that one more time there. Yeah, whatever this is will lead to some kind of fulfillment. With 9 of Raphael here, that's like the 9 of Cups energy. Brings some kind of healing. So yes, you know, focus on your intentions. Make sure it's an intention that is really in alignment with the path of heart. And the more that you invest in this inspiration that's coming in, a dream will become a reality for you. You will see it. It will manifest here. This could have something to do with a pet that's really dear to your heart. You may have some kind of wish around a pet, Or for some of you that lost a pet, this could be a little clue. They might be like communicating to you from beyond the rainbow there, letting you know maybe it's okay. It's time. It's time for you to get another dog. It's time for you to get another cat. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe you were holding off. For some of you, this may have something to do with a relocation or a move to a new place, maybe somewhere that's by the water. For some of you, it could be somewhere tropical. We've had Hawaii come in quite a few times here. There could be like a connection point there. Maybe going back to a certain land where you have a lot of loyal friends, you know, people that you can really connect with, put some roots down with, right? There's also some kind of wish fulfillment here, right? This is the basis of the matter. All right, let's see what we got coming in here. All right, 7 of Ariel. So this is about investment. How are you investing your energy to make your garden grow? In order to find this balance, it's going to take strength, right? It is going to take strength, but if you move with a sense of kindness and self-confidence, I do feel like there is a way to let go what has been robbing you of peace in this situation. And there is a sign that will come in, I feel, when you're on the right track. You'll start finding a lot of white feathers, okay? Dove feathers specifically I got, but white feathers in general, right? That lets you know when you're getting closer to this. You've taken a step recently, and maybe it seems like you're not seeing the result of it currently with 7 of Ariel here. It's like Pentacles energy. You have invested wisely, all right? You may be seeing things that are making you feel like maybe that wasn't the right course of action to take. Sometimes it can be like that when you're really close to taking the right action or shifting something in a meaningful way. It can look initially like you're backsliding a little bit, and that's because opposing forces always tend to try to counterbalance that. It's almost like a challenge of your new understanding or your belief in yourself. If you finally overcame something that was really a limiting force within yourself, whether that's a belief you held or something unhealed within yourself or a new perspective you've gained and a new idea you have, and you finally have the courage to really take a step in this direction, or you finally have the courage to speak a truth, or you finally have the courage to make a dream a reality, whatever this is, you took some step in this direction, and initially it may have seemed like, wow, well, this really feels like this is my path of heart. But I'm also recognizing that as I'm stepping in this direction, it seems like I'm going backwards a little bit, and that can confuse people, and it can make them feel like maybe I'm not investing in the right direction. After all, it felt right in my heart, but I feel like I'm backsliding or I'm losing outside support. And sometimes you are losing outside support, but it's because they are factors, whether they be people connected to your situation or particular previous investments that you're needing to now kind of extricate yourself from, that are not in alignment with that. They're not resonant with that. So whenever we invest in this direction of growth, automatically things are pruned, automatically things are going to fall away. It's an inevitability, and there's nothing you can do to change that. But you need to really trust where you invested here, because if you're patient, you're going to see what you harvest here. You just have a little time to wait before you see what you really seeded there by taking this action. Review your progress so far, right? And make plans for the next step. So a little bit of a checkpoint energy here. There's still some strength needed to bring about this balance you seek, but there's every indication you have strength on your side here, okay? does say there's a harvest here, so this is good. Just a little more patience is needed. Things are growing as we speak. Just because you haven't seen it manifest through your material reality yet doesn't mean it's not already in motion. That's where faith comes in, you know, trusting the way the energy comes to fruition. We don't get to direct the flow. We get to hold our intentions, or you can send up a prayer, but you don't get to determine how it comes into being or even its end result. There's a lot about releasing to let something become what it wants to be. And there may be ways when we set certain things in motion that we're really approaching it from too limited of a scope. And so that's why we can have things a little bit delayed, because we need to come to new understandings so we don't sort of box in that ultimate vision, right? So it looks like whatever you did here, though, it was a wise course of action. Give it time, right? And review your progress so far and think about what is the next step. I'm going to get one more round here. Then I'm going to do a cut of the deck on this. Okay, now we got some stuff coming out here. All right, so we got King of Michael, King of Swords energy. Somebody who's very principled, rational, ambitious, and they're also respected, whether they know it or not, okay? Respected for some decisive action you took here, respected for your clarity, respected for being the one who had the courage to communicate something, speak a certain truth. 26:44 on the clock. 8:44 energy, double 8, 16. It may have been a tower. You speaking a certain truth, taking this action, it may have shocked some people. It also may have rocked your world as a result, I have to say, because if people are taken back by you having the courage to speak on something, share your truth, and it's not what they anticipate from you, well, that can create, you know, some shockwaves there. But whatever happened here is the root of you really acting out of your wisdom and a point of objectivity that you have. You're not so close to something, and maybe that's why you're able to be a little bit more impartial. You kind of were able to pull your energy back and disentangle it from some sense of complication that allowed you to see things very clearly. And that wisdom and objectivity that you have are very important right now. Okay, so lean into that. And stay in your integrity, because this is a situation, whatever you're navigating here, it does require honesty and open communication. And you're kind of taking the lead here. This has something to do with some kind of sorrow, some kind of separation, some kind of loss with 3 of Michael here. Something you felt very alone in processing. It has its roots in the past. And it's difficult to release what happened back there. It may be really lodged in your energy body. It could be really lodged in your nervous system. And the experiences that we go through, I mean, this is on a scientific level here. All memory is stored within our cells. We have cellular memory. Our bodies hold the stories of everything that's happened to us. And so some of those wounds, you know, they run really deep. And this is why it can be very helpful to work with our lymph, you know, to get things moving, even in a gentle way. You don't have to do anything vigorous. Even just going for walks outdoors, it gets the energy moving. That's why I always recommend that. Even doing some yoga, you know, it gets your lymph moving, or dancing, you know, can get your lymph moving. It doesn't have to be anything aggressive. Giving yourself an abhyanga, you know, warming up some oil and giving yourself a massage all the way from the top of your crown to the bottom of your feet, getting nice and oiled up and giving your body that care and that attention, and then letting that oil really drink into your skin and nourish you from the inside out. This is really beneficial, okay? You can finish it off with a nice warm shower or bath afterwards if you want. Drink in some more nourishment, but it's good to just, you know, get the lymph moving and give yourself the ability to even get that stuff flowing away from you. If you're holding it in, if it's become locked in your tissues, you may need some support for releasing these past energies. It's really helpful. So, you might want to work with some of those things. You are growing from this situation. And of course, time really is the greatest healer. Time really does heal all wounds. And that's never easy, right? It's never easy to hear that. But I mean, you are going to get to the other side of this. You're being strengthened. We got 9 of Ariel here. So there is movement forward here. There is transformation. There's something coming in here that is going to inspire you. You are getting to that gold on the other side of the rainbow. This is also a lot of increase for you. Your dreams are in the process of being fulfilled right now. Your hard work is going to lead to great success, maybe greater success than you were expecting. And you're going to start to wake up to the beauty of your life again, where maybe you've been having a hard time seeing that. This is just something that's taking a little time getting there. It's a journey. That horse medicine, it's about movement forward. It's about moving forward in power. And where is that power being generated from? From your heart. Okay, and it takes time to get to the other side here. We have Queen of Raphael, Queen of Cups energy. This is an energy that's kind and understanding and giving and very in touch with their intuition, their psychic awareness here. It was 33 on the clock when I brought that in. So yeah, really coming into your power and coming into the power to make a decision that's based, from the heart, from a kind, understanding place that operates out of a sense of generosity and intuitive knowing. You need to follow your heart here. And there's something that's coming to fruition for you here in relation to your home and your family that's going to give you a lot of grounding and nourishment and ability to start to soften some of the defenses that have been in place so you can come into that state of just gentleness again, not being so guarded, not having to, hold the waters in so much. There's a softening happening here, and you're receiving some kind of trustworthy psychic information here too, okay? What you're downloading and the signs you're seeing, they're accurate here. They do give you a new beginning. You have an Ace of Ariel. This is that Pentacles energy. It's tangible. It's rooted in material reality. And there's something coming in here that's going to make you feel like, okay, my luck's turning. I thought it was heading south. It's not, This is a realignment. There's also new resources of time and money and support coming your way. And there's something that's changing in your work here, right? So if you have been feeling like really held back, or you took a risk, or you tried something new, or you invested in a business of your own, or whatever this may be, or you've been out of work, you've been looking for a job, like there's something coming in here that's really changing this reality for you. It may have looked like it was a few steps back, but it was a reorientation, a necessary reorientation to get you where you need to go. And you may have been really worried about security. I know it's a big concern for a lot of people out there right now with everything going on in the world. And we have the holidays coming up, and people feel so pressured during the holidays. But maybe, we can all extend a lot of grace to everybody out there too during the holidays. Like, it's not about the things, it's not about the stuff, it's about connecting with others and showing our support to others, feeling grateful for our community, grateful for the people we have, grateful for our loved ones, and not making it about so much a material focus. There's something there. And yeah, maybe potlucking, coming together in that way, not making, one person responsible for putting on the feast, this kind of energy. But it does look like there's something coming in here that's lightening the load, especially materially, or where you feel like you've been held back or you've been struggling. And it has everything to do with, stepping onto this path of heart, being true to you. So don't stress about what falls away through you taking these actions, because really, truly, this is taking you to a place of a lot of growth here with the Nine of Pentacles. You are going to be able to move forward here. You're going to have what you need, all the resources, the time, the energy, the finances, the support, and whatever you're investing in, building here, it's going to grow, okay? But it's specifically because you had the courage to cut something off, communicate something, change something. Yeah, you know, it's a little bumpy at first, but it pays off. So this is encouragement. I like this, kind of the deck energy. Queen of Gabriel. Okay, so we got this passionate, charming, brilliant, independent energy. So this is really, your fire is getting lit now. The more you step into this, the more you step into your power. You truly can do anything right now. You truly can. It's up to you how you want to, you know, work your personal magic, how you want to bring your fire forward here. And I do see there's something you're doing here that you're setting in motion. It does turn the wheel of fortune. So go after what you want. And you have an uncanny ability at this time to magnetize helpful people and opportunities your way. So you're going to start to see a lot of evidence of this the more that you continue to move in this direction and follow this new inspiration. But it's coming on the other side of having some perspective from being in that hanged man position. Archangel Shamiel here, okay? So there is a better way. And that's why there's been blocks. There's a better way. 36 on the clock, double nines. Add that together, 18. What's been hidden by the moon is going to be illuminated with that Taurus full moon that comes in on the 5th of November, okay? It's not that far away. We're starting to build toward this energy. The lights are going to come on in the room that are going to provide the proper perspective. There's something of a blessing that comes through of Jupiter in the house of Cancer that's going to come through for everybody in Sagittarius season. And for some, it's a course redirect, but there's a way through, even through the roughest of situations or the stormiest of seas. And there's a way to navigate this, and there is something that gives you what you need for the journey here. There is a better way. That's why there's the blocks. It's a pause for a reflection to gain insight. And what you're being asked to do here is to dare to be different, you know? Dare to break from the pack. Dare to stand out in the crowd. Dare to do what nobody else is doing. And so, of course, if you're going to play that role, if you're going to be rogue, you know, if you're going to be the maverick in the tail, then there's going to be times when you're going to face disapproval, opposition, misunderstanding, isolation. You know, it's part of it. Anytime that you are breaking from the path and you're choosing to do something that is only a vision you hold and you can see at this time, you're being an innovator. In whatever territory you're moving through, even if it's just changing your approach to life and how you deal with your relationships. And maybe you're really switching it up and people have always expected you to move a certain way. And you're like, no, that's not who I am anymore. I mean, this could even be for somebody that maybe they did used to have kind of a player past. That's who they were, you know, and they enjoyed that. And they had fun with that. And it served its purpose. And it is what it is. And it was what it was. But now something's shifting. Maybe somebody's wanting to go deeper. Maybe other people don't believe them. Maybe other people are kind of like judging them and they got a certain perspective of them because of their history and who they used to be. And this person's like, well, that's who I was, but I am allowed to grow and evolve and want a different experience too. And maybe somebody's wanting to go deep with someone. They weren't ready to do that before. They have a different perspective now, you know, and people are allowed to grow and change and evolve. And we have to let them do that, even if it doesn't serve us in some way. You know what I mean? And where it doesn't serve us, we have to look at that. That's something we have to look at. Like, why am I bumping up against this point of resistance? if this is truly what speaks to this person. I know that may ruffle my feathers in some way, shape, or form, but where is that coming from? And why does it ruffle my feathers? You know? Why does it ruffle Madam Rufflebonnet's feathers, you know? It's that kind of energy, just getting a different perspective. You're doing something here where it's out of the box for you, or it's unanticipated. And it's because of a perspective you've gained, encountering all the blockages. You recognized at the end of the day, I got to be true to myself. And so it's going to cause a little disruption, and you may find a little disapproval. You may bump up against these things, and you may feel alone, and it's okay. You do have the ability to balance this. Look at this. Look at the ability you have to balance in this situation. You've been in that hangman position, but look at how you've been able to strike a balance in that hangman position. And you really do master time here. It's almost like entering this timeless space. You have time to bring about this balance. Being in this state of pause actually works to your advantage. And it's very important that you have this state of balance, and you needed to be put in this reflection point, because there's things that you were pouring into that weren't serving you. And they were actually things that the more you nourish them, the further they threw you out of balance. But you kind of had to have blockages to be able to have this illuminated for you to see this. This could be because you have a lot of different inspirations, and so you've been putting many different irons and many different fires, and it's been too much. You know, you've taken on too much, or you overextended yourself, or you over-obligated yourself, or you spread yourself across many different people, you know, and this can apply in many different ways. But whatever this is, it's time to bring more fun into the flow here. And that may mean that what's become tedious or burdensome, it's like, I need to pull some energy away from that. And I need to start nurturing the things that actually fill me up, that do inspire me, that bring more of a sense of lightness and levity and playfulness into my life. And if I have been all work and no play, then maybe it's time to recognize that the more I push and the more I push and the more I push isn't going to get me further to where I want to go. Actually, it's just going to translate. And what I'm putting out there, people are going to sense the agitation. They're going to sense the frustration. They're going to sense that I'm not really on board. I'm not really in it. Whether that's the work you're doing, or whether that's, you know, the social circle you're hanging out with, or the people you're dating, or whatever this may be. It's like, if your heart's not really in it, like, people can feel that. So this is about really taking charge of that, not blaming it on the outer circumstances, but being honest and truthful and recognizing where you're not feeling it, where you do need to pull back, and that's okay, right? Where you are juggling a lot of different projects at once, you need to make a little bit more time for the one that's really got you lit or has you excited, inspired. There needs to be a little bit more tempering going on here, so that even as you are pouring energy into what is like your bread and butter and sustains you, you're not bitter about it. Instead, you respect it for what it's giving you. It is a form of support, you know? Even if you do have some kind of work you do where you feel like, well, this is drudgery, like, I don't like this work. Yeah, but that work is giving you resources. That work is supporting you. And the people you're doing the work for, you know, you're providing some kind of service there too. So it's difficult when you're doing something that maybe you don't feel like this is really my path of purpose, but this is what I need to do to make ends meet. You know, it's about understanding how it serves your ultimate purpose though. It's making it possible so you have what you need, so you can work on your dreams and what's going to make those things possible for you. Okay, so this is about getting a little bit of perspective here to find the balance, and just carving out the space to put energy into your dreams, because you'll be surprised as you start to direct energy towards your dreams, things gather momentum here, okay? Things start to pick up, and as things start to pick up, soon you can start taking more energy away from what isn't lighting you up to pour into what is, because there's a new kind of balance developing there, right? There's a need to get out of like kind of an all or nothing mindset, I feel, in this situation. That's what needs to shift. That's what needs to change. And I think a new perspective is coming your way because there's some kind of incentive. That's what's really been coming through quite a bit. Let's get some details about what this could be. I want to work with the Sacred Rebels Oracle here because I see that you're doing something different, okay? You're breaking from the pack in some way, or breaking the mold of who you used to be. Something's changing here. You've been resting and restoring, and if you haven't, you might need a little bit more space for this, okay, just to get grounded, because I do feel like there's big changes ahead. You need a little bit more rest, restoration. Maybe slow your roll, maybe not take on so much at once right now. You know, give yourself that space so you can get operating on all cylinders, okay? You don't want to be at a compromised level with whatever this is. It's going to come in here, I see, because it does require you show up, pour into it, and get focused here, right? It is going to require some work, some investment of energy on your part. So it would be a good time to get grounded, restore yourself, especially in nature, okay? Especially in nature. Nature nurtures. Let's get some more details here for you in relation to this. What's coming in here? So they know what to look for. What's coming in here to light up this landscape, give a new reason to move forward on the path and to feel inspired. New focal point of investment here. What's coming in here, angels? How can we root a little bit of that heaven here on earth? How can we bring some of those castles in the sky down to earth? Well, you got to listen for truth here. There's something here that deep within you, you know you need to do. And even if you feel like that's not the case, it's something you will become aware of. This is something that is the seed of potential that's meant to be activated by you at this time. It's what you were born to do. It's not anything that you're going to find outside of yourself. It's really trusting what you're hearing that's being sourced from your heart here. Again, and it's related to you getting the illumination you need to set a new cycle of creativity in motion here. It's something that's going to inspire you, but it does require you to drop in and create space for rest. It's like there's too much that's kind of overloading your system. That's what it feels like. Like the nervous system is too overloaded. And when you're in that fight or flight sort of pattern there, it's very difficult to be calm and clear enough to hear the truth, to get the inspiration you need. So there's real sense of, I want to say urgency. I mean, that is how it's coming through, like urgency to get grounded and do that practically. you know? Make sure that you're getting enough rest. And if you're having a hard time resting because you do feel so anxious, like follow some of those recommendations I brought in. It really does help. It really does help. Just get yourself calmed down and maybe take a little space to get some good rest, because there's a beautiful dream that wants to come into being here, but it does require you to be in alignment, to be able to tap into this potential that has far more reaching effect than you anticipate at this time. And you will become more aware of it the more you go out into nature. It's really true. Even if that's just taking a walk on your break at work, you know, just to step outside and tap into the world around you. That's where you're going to find it, because it's like the world soul kind of communicating to you about your peace and what's to be created here. Whatever's set in motion here, though, it really does flower and it has some kind of reach. And for some of you, it's something you're doing online, okay? Or it could be something you're doing that makes you go out into the world, like connect with different places, different cultures, you know, people from different backgrounds, people in different regions, like whatever this is, it has far reach. Or this could be something you're sharing. This could be some kind of art you're sharing, or some kind of creative work that you're sharing that totally reaches beyond any kind of outside borders, but it is something that is ready to come to life here. And it has far-reaching result. And it's your piece that you're meant to hold in the collective. It's your dream that's meant to be activated. It's your light that you're bringing forward. 19, the sun. It's what's on the other side of casting off the shadows. And see, it's your purpose. It's being lit. That's that north node, you know, being lit up here. Something really positive coming through here. All right, let's get some more details about this. It's really interesting because it's very similar to the read last night in that the earth hasn't shown up yet on the board. We have air, we have fire, and we have water here. But we don't have the earth. We don't have the earth yet. I mean, we have an opportunity to invest with the Ace of Ariel there, representing that Ace of Pentacles energy, the earth energy. But I'm not seeing any court cards representing earth. So this is fascinating to me. And that message came through before too. So let's see if any clarity can come in around that. What is preventing earth from coming forward here? So there can be the ground for something really to be planted in. Be the hunter, not the hunted. Interesting. Yeah, this is about really being focused on one's own objectives here. Eight is also strength. We've had a couple Leo significators come out here. This is about not allowing the past to have power over you. You know, people talk about that, like the past haunting them, you know? The past is always hot on my tail. You know, some people feel like they're haunted by their past, like their past is always hot on their tail, close behind. And this is about you understanding that that's merely a self-deception. It's a matter of perspective. It's all about where you're placing your focus. And to be the hunter, you have to stay, you know, very, very determined to keep your mark in view. You know, it's not about looking at what's going on distractionary on the periphery, but it's about having that single point of focus. They can see through the dark as well. You have to stay focused on the light. If you're always kind of like referring back to the shadows of the past, then that's how you're always haunted by your past, or that's how the energy drags, because you're continuing to feed something that's already closed. And so it can make like a hungry ghost. It can create that kind of illusion, that kind of energy. Whereas if you're the hunter, you're merely focused on where you're heading, what the objective is, what you're wanting to see manifest here. So it's about understanding where the focus has been that actually puts a mark on your back or creates a disadvantage. And a lot of it has to do with not taking an action. See, you're meant to bring it into form. Whatever your ideas are, whatever you want to create here, it's like, as long as you let it live up in your head, then there's always ways that's an interesting point of reflection. I haven't really thought about that before, but the more that you keep something just in like the headspace where you're thinking about it, but you're not actually executing it. You know what I mean? You're not taking an action. You're not even a single step there. The more that the past has control, the more those hungry ghosts have control, because you remember past failures, or you remember when you had that negative experience back there. And so you stay in this very constricted space because the energy is not moving to the next stage of transformation. The ether pulls down, it merges with the air, you get the inspiration, you get the idea. Now it's not just supposed to rattle around there, it has to merge with the fire, and the fire is the action. And that's what gets it out of the head and sets it into motion. And well, once the fire is on the scene, the light's there, well, when you got a light source, the shadows tend to fall behind. Unless you're looking at a wall, which tends to be of our own making. When we're looking at a wall, something blocking our way, and we see that shadow play, that's when we're kind of heading in a dead end direction. And then it's like, okay, well, where can I shine my light where it actually opens up the field of vision, you know, where there's more territory to step into? If I keep shining the light on a direction and I keep seeing all these shadows, well, then I'm bumping up against a wall. And so really that's something inside of myself that's a limitation that needs to be shed. I need to go where I can keep taking steps in a direction that every step, you know, my light leads me toward more stretch of road to step into. You know what I'm saying? It requires change. And there's something here that you got to get out of the headspace. You can't keep bumping up against the walls. I feel like the walls are like limitations being created by staying too much in the thought process with something. The excuses come in, which really just keeps somebody in a safe space. Remembering, it's like breaking down the boxes. We need to dismantle the belief systems that keep this in place. Seeing through self-deception too. Ways we tell ourselves, I don't have strength to overcome this, or so-and-so has more strength than me, and so that's what's limiting me. And it's nonsense, okay? And yes, I'm not going to downplay it. Some people have rougher paths than others. Some people have advantages other people don't have. It's true. And sometimes just by luck of the draw, you know. But that doesn't mean that you're not capable. It just means you have more of a call to rise. And a lot of times people don't realize that when they have challenging paths like that, they're also frequently given to people that are very gifted or that do have a lot to share. That requires them to go through more tempering in order to really enact their purpose. Right? So you really need to recognize who you are in this scenario. You're leading the charge. You're the hunter. You're not the hunted. Okay? There's a shift in perspective needed here. and you need to take action. This is what needs to change. You need to actually step into the direction that you know you're meant to step into. Now, you're not meant to just keep thinking about it. You have to take a step here. You have to set something in motion. All right, cut at the deck. Let's see what we got. Yeah, every journey begins with a single step. You see, this is the transformation that's needed. It's time to stop hanging out at the crossroads. You've already gotten the perspective you need. So it's really a reiteration in some ways of the message received. You're diving for light. We've had this before, okay? At first, it looks like you're diving into darkness because you don't really know what's up ahead. But the more you go in this direction, you'll find there are no walls, there are no blocks, there's no resistance. It's like you're free falling into the light by diving deep into it, by going head first into it, by saying, okay, I've thought about it enough. Now I just need to take a step. And for some of you, it may actually require like going on a trip, going on a physical journey. It could be. It could be finally, you know, putting yourself out there, putting your dream out there, you know, making it happen by any means necessary. What's one step you can take to make it happen? You may think it's a small step. Every time we take a step, though, we move out of the crossroads. New stimulus shows up on our path. New things become possible, you know, so take a step. You'll be surprised where it leads you. And this has something to do with, you know, what you already know you need to do, but you've been holding off from doing it for one reason or another, and it's just holding you up. I mean, you're just keeping yourself from embracing the journey of a lifetime. That's what it's about, man. I see the opportunity is here. It requires seeing through some kind of illusion and being willing to actually do the work, invest in this direction. And I think that's why there hasn't been the pentacles, you know, a suit representing the pentacles, a court card representing the pentacles showing up yet, you know, because the work hasn't been done, the tangible investment, but it's needed for rebirth. All right, bottom of the deck energy here. All right. So look for signs of your rebirth because there's going to be a lot of communication coming in around this, all right? Letting you know what direction your rebirth is in. You're going to have to pay attention to the communication you're receiving. You may be finding that some roads are closed and other directions are opening up. So you have to look for signs of life. That's what I'm really saying here, you know? Where is there just indication that something is withering? Okay, that gives you a clue about a need for reorientation. Where are there signs of life? Where are things starting to stir? Where are you getting different perspectives? Let's see what's coming in around this. Let's see what's coming in around this. Get a little magic, a little medicine coming in here to help you down this road. Bottom of the deck. Wow. I mean, this change in fortune is coming. The wheel of fortune is turning. And you do have guardianship here. There's a guardian. You do have angels watching over you. You do have your spirit team there. And they are helping you move through this shadowy territory so you can get to the light that's on the other side of this solo track, right? You might want to do a little smoke cleansing. This is absolutely a south node matter that you're moving through. You are closing out something. There's a lot of communication coming in from your subconscious too. That can be another reason for sensitivity. You know, you may be feeling just the weight of what you rose up out of, but there's a necessity here to understand that this is being sloughed off now. Like, this is not coming forward with you. This is what you're in the process of releasing. And the sooner that you are able to open up to the empowerment that comes through it, that's when you're going to really see that you've been protected, whatever this is, okay? whatever's been transformed here. It's been for your protection. Protection of your true purpose, because there's some journey of a lifetime you're stepping into here. So you might want to get a little Palo Santo, do a little smoke cleansing. Clear some old energy out of your space. You know? Maybe open up the windows and let that crisp, autumn air rush through the house. Just sort of clarify everything. Do a good smoke cleansing with Palo Santo. Call on your guardian angel to help watch over you as you take these steps onto this path. And if you want to connect with your guardian angel, you can always ask them, to make their presence known to you. Show you signs that you're moving in the right direction, or to give you gentle warnings when you're veering off course, The more that you invite them to speak to you through synchronicity, the more they will show up for you. It's really true. All right, and a whole bunch came out with that. Yes, teacher. Okay. There's a path opening up to you. The path itself is your teacher. But you have to step on the path to get the lesson. Pathfinder is here. Wolf is here showing you that it is time to step on a path. You'll know this path because it's going to open up for you effortlessly. It is an initiation, though, to step on this path. It does take you up to your stargate. There's also lessons that come with this path. It is Saturnian energy. So there's parts of the path where you will be tested. That's the nature of any path that leads to growth. But this is to sort of like awaken the teacher within you. But the path is what's cultivating that. The further you step into this journey, the more it transforms you. The more that you actually grok the Pathfinder, you become the Pathfinder. You can pick up the scent of the trail. You're very in touch with your instincts. You merge with your environment. You know the way to get through the dark wood to the clearing. And there's all kinds of like medicines you gain here, and teachings you gain here. Things that will be shared with others. And it's also this path that heals the bruised, wounded places in you. It's the path that mends you. It gets you to the hope on the other side. And also community if you feel alone. There's star mates here. You're not going to be alone. This stretch may feel lonely as you first step on it, though. And that's part of it. It's part of the journey. And right now you're in a point of stillness as we just entered Scorpio season where, yes, the masks are falling away. There's cracks in the facade. There's truths that are seen. There's very deep parts of us communicating to us right now. And those parts of us that are communicating to us are the parts of us that are teaching us about that new kind of flow that was experienced with Saturn in Pisces. We also have a grand water trine that is kicking off tomorrow. It is sort of the next in the flow of energy that was introduced with the grand air trine that came in on October 13th, kicking off that third decanate of Libra. So this energy is still playing out. We're all moving through this energy. I'll be bringing in a download about the grand air trine and water trine tomorrow. So you all can tap into that current, okay? Because that's a whole flow, but it's bringing a lot in that's going to nurture us. But it does require us, as we're moving through those territories of Scorpio's house, right? All that Plutonian energy, the Mars energy, it does require us to heal the parts of us that we view as broken, but they're not broken. They're parts of us that served a purpose for a certain space and time when we needed that. But now we're ready to let these sort of artifices fall away so the true growth can sprout from this. This is the initiation. You've outlived an old form. This is something to celebrate, even though it can be disillusioning as you're waking up to who you truly are and what you're ready to step into and what you're ready to step away from as well. This is the pause, okay? This is the pause as you're preparing to see this balance manifest. You're balancing the shadow and light here. You're at the center point. And to really tap into that next step does require a point of stillness. Why? So you can recalibrate. And so you can really get back into your own essence here. It'll be a breakthrough moment. You will see. Okay. Yeah, it's your destiny that's awakening here. Do you see? It looks like, you're heading south, but it's actually so you can make a critical connecting point here in relation to your moon. So your moon sign is really speaking to you right now. Where is your moon? What sign is it in? What house is it in? This is a clue about what you're going to prepare to externalize. It's a part of you that's ready to come to the surface, to radiate outward to the world. So there's something about your moon sign, the house it's in, the sign it's in, that is a key to your destiny and what you are meant to do now. It's the thing that makes your garden grow. It is the stuff of your destiny that is the Empress energy signature, a moment of creativity, something that births new things into being. It comes connected not only to the new beginning of the Fool when you do step on that path, but it also brings forward all of your gifts. It's been nurturing here subterraneanly. You feel it burgeoning. And there may be the reason for all the anxiety rooted in this, that you feel the magnitude of it. You feel how big of a transformation this is. And you see, there's other star mates here too. They're also going through this process. I feel like you're leading something here though. You're bringing it into the light first. It brings others along the way. There's purification that's happening here. The waters, the cauldron of Dagda are being purified here. So this is beautiful energy. Your destiny is being set in motion here. There's something to really celebrate here. And we have mugwort. You see? Psychic healing. Psychic healing. You're recovering your own ability to heal yourself, to extend that healing energy to the collective. You're recovering your magics. You're recovering your own empowerments here. It's bringing you into balance. Do you see this? Look at that alignment with the Stargate. Neptunian energy here with the moon energy. All right, so this is that time when we're in that sort of dreamy, in-between place where the subconscious, the conscious, the future, the past, all of these sort of seemingly separate energies or dichotomous sort of energies are being blurred, and we're in that space where it is kind of like the soul soup or that goop stage where the butterfly hasn't quite taken off yet, but everything's sort of in that mutable state. It's all come undone and it's about to finally come through, get its wings and take flight, right? This is the integration point right before the turning of the wheel of fortune. Mugwort is also excellent for working through this sort of like dreamy kind of territory, and it's very protective, especially if you're getting a lot of psychic insight right now, or if you are having a lot of repressed memories resurface, if you are really deep in your healing process where you're looking at some heavy stuff or you're clearing out some old energy, mugwort can be very powerful, potent ally for doing this kind of integrative work. This is really bringing all those disparate parts of yourself back together into a state of unification within yourself. It's powerful. You're calling back all your medicines here. It's preparing you to enter this portal of transformation. This is the energy we're moving through, and this is going to amplify through the remainder of October. And the water trine is factoring strongly into this. But make no mistake about it. I mean, with destiny here coming in with the energy of Jupiter and Venus, this is the rebirth of Venus. This is the rebirth of love and beauty. This is the rebirth of the blessings pouring into your life, what's really going to nurture you, what wants to be given birth to. Jupiter is in the house of Cancer. That is that mother energy, okay? So you're birthing your destiny right now. It's actually really beautiful energy. What do we got over here? Oh, this is what you can't see. Oh, the beloved has dropped. There's something very special on the other side of this. But see, I really feel like first you're like diving deep into yourself. You're unifying within yourself. What is the purpose of this deep dive? Well, it does bring you into alignment with the beloved. See, but first, remember, Eridanus, the brightest star, is actually in the south. People used to set sail on the seas and they thought they were following the North Star, but it was just they didn't have the correct point of orientation. But even though it was the longer way around, they still end up north regardless. Okay, so this is that energy. It's like there's something that is being purified here, that is being transformed here, and whatever is being purified or transformed here, it is the very thing that creates the waterway that eventually leads one to the north node, that fills their cup, brings about this beautiful harmony, alignment, awakens all your magics. See, the angels are even there hanging out, letting you know you're not alone, you're supported. This miraculous chalice will come in. And there is alignment here with the beloved. It's beautiful. It's justice too. Right? A lot of communication through Venus. There's a lot of transmission through Venus. Venus frequency really strong through all of this. Okay. See, what's being purified is all that warring energy, you know, so we can get to the beauty side here. I think it's positive, actually. I think it's very positive. Anything else? Pathfinder. I'm going to bring in, just because the Pathfinder did introduce itself, I'm going to get a white light oracle card here. I'm just going to get one, though, okay? Just going to get one. Just to see what message wants to come through. What is the sort of culminating message here to take away from this session, angels, for the collective as they prepare to, looks like, step into their destiny? No longer feeling haunted, hunted down by the past, but recognizing that there's only one time, and it's right now. And right now, it's time to take a step in the direction that feeds the heart fire. How can they recognize this path? Give some clues through this card. Help them understand what's coming on through, or give any final guidance of support. I just saw that Beta Spirit Wolf flash there. So yeah, absolutely. You have the Pathfinder on the scene. You may even see wolves coming on through. That might be a synchronicity for you. You might want to connect with wolf medicine to help you better find your path. Maybe we'll bring in some kind of Pathfinder meditation on the channel too. I could do that for you all. If you feel like you would enjoy that, let me know and I'll create something for us, okay? To connect with the Pathfinder. That could be helpful. To connect with a fetch, maybe. Maybe you need to connect with a Pathfinder fetch. It can help you navigate this sort of like spiritual terrain here. Bottom of the deck, Lasya, Parvati. Yes, these changes are rooted in some new creativity that is being born. It's a vision that's coming in that will really inspire you. You gotta tune within in order to hear it. But Parvati is goddess of creativity, creatrix energy. So this is something coming in that's the birth of a new beginning for you. And it'll give you many different tastes of life, some of the sweeter tastes of life that maybe have been missing once you start nurturing this. It's beautiful energy, actually. And this is kind of wanting to come out, but it's sort of crossing. Oh, there's 2 cards here. I feel like this is what I'm meant to take. This could be like guidance for 2, or it could be in relation to like an either or contemplation. Okay, so I'm going to kind of put it through in that way. Like if I go this way, it's this. If I go that way, it's that. Let's see what this is here. Deer of Delta. Okay, deer is associated with Gemini on the medicine wheel. So if you are a Gemini or you have a situation concerning a Gemini, this may speak really strongly to you. I also see 26 here. That breaks down to 8. So there could be a life path 8 connected to this, or somebody who is born in the 8th month or born on the 8th connected to this. So somebody born in August or somebody born on the 8th. Could be a Scorpio as well. They're the 8th house. So these could be some energies connected to this. You might be considering opening up a line of communication in a situation. There could be a child connected here, or young parts of the self are very much being activated. There's gentleness that's required in this situation. Something's had far too heavy of a hand, and there needs to be a lot more gentleness brought into this situation. That's what will bring healing. That's what will bring the light forward in this situation and create a sense of peace and calm. Something's been too activating. Something has been too aggressive. Something has been too harsh. There's a need for treading more lightly in a situation, having sensitivity. I feel like more quiet space too, like something's been too jarring. I don't know, I'm picking up energy of like slamming doors or yelling or just really just abrasive, kind of jarring sort of energy. Somebody may be processing something from a very young time in their life, and there may be like trauma stuff coming up, and so certain things can be very activating in the environment. Somebody's needing more softness, more quiet, more calm, more smoothing in this situation. This is something that will bring healing. There needs to be more of a safe space created that's bringing in a little bit more softness. So if you are dealing with a situation involving a child, or where you're healing really deep trauma, or a situation that's requiring like some sensitive communication, and you're having trouble getting through, or it feels like somebody's really like blocking themselves off from you, this is why. There's not enough softness and sensitivity in this situation, and that is what's needed. So I do feel like going this direction, the approach needs to change. There needs to be more environmental awareness and how the environment is affecting others who share that space, especially a child or someone who's processing some trauma stuff that is bringing up a lot of stuff from their childhood. That's what's really needing to be addressed here. And I feel that brings healing for 2. It could even bring healing within a family, and that's so important here, okay? Let's see what we got over here. Yeah, Shekinah. Yeah, Shekinah. This is the creatrix energy, like really being downloaded, manifest. So somebody's in this space. Somebody's really holding their creative energy right now. You know your vision. You know what you need to do. You need to act on it. The fire's already lit. It's time to set it in motion. This is part of your purpose. It's also what really frees up the energy in its truest expression, so you're not encountering blockages anymore. This could be coming in really strongly for life path 6 here. That's also Venus energy. Could be coming in strongly for Libra, Taurus here. 6th of the month. That's June. So Gemini could be connected to this. Again, Gemini coming in there. Cancerian energy could be coming in here as well. Yes. I feel like you're kind of in the center point of it right now. Like there's a lot that's sort of swirling around you. Like you feel like you're really in this centered space. You're just kind of letting everything find what form it's coming into. I feel like you're in this state where you sense the energy moving and you sense that there's a lot sort of being disrupted around you, but you're maybe standing alone, kind of in the center of it, in your own vision here. You're not getting caught up in whatever is happening on the periphery here, because there's something you're already picking up here. You know, the hair is like antenna in a way, like it picks up a lot of what is coming in etherically, right? So there's already something here that is spiraling in, even as things are spiraling out. You know, it's like there's things that you are releasing here while there's new things that are coming in, and you're sort of in the center of it all. I feel like you're really staying focused on this vision, but it's something that you've been nurturing more internally. And with Shekinah here, you're definitely meant to harness that energy and set it into motion. It's time to create it, okay? This will bear a lot of fruit if you allow yourself to create this and step into this. And it's interesting because with these two together, 8 and the 6 is 14. Temperance energy, Sagittarian energy, the Jupiterian energy, okay? 5, life path 5 could be connected. Hierophant energy. So I feel like there's some old structure that's dissolving here. And that's what's creating a lot of this sort of like activation for some that are needing softness, gentleness, you know. Take it a little bit more easy. All right. And create this space for yourself too, you know, where you can. Create space for yourself, even if it means you have to step outside of a certain environment and go and spend some time in nature to yourself, even if that is just for a walk or to go on a hike or to sit by a body of water and just reflect for a little bit, you know. Wherever you can, create these spaces of gentleness for yourself. This is so important. And let me get one more card to see if we set this in motion like this, what's going to get rooted here. Also, 6th house, Virgo could be connected here with this Shekinah energy as well. This has something to do with your work, your habits, your daily routine, and creating space to actually invest in what you're inspired to bring forward right now. This vision is coming in if you haven't received it yet. You've got to create a space of receptivity though, right? So if you're super stressed, you can't receive it. That's why you need to create some gentleness around you here. day after the full moon may be when you really do step into active creative phase with this. I feel like there's already an action you've taken at that point that sets things in motion. And so you're kind of letting the next layer of this vision come in at that time. Because that full moon in Taurus comes in on the 5th. So by the 6th, I feel like the next step reveals itself. There's some action you need to take right now, though. Yep. Dancing with the dakinis. Okay, we have the dakini of infinite light coming through here. So you're absolutely pulling something out of the ether and you're rooting it in material reality. This is an act of creativity. It's inspiration and it's transformation. This is beautiful. Dakini of infinite light. It's giving you the light you need for your lantern. Look, it comes in with 9, the Hermit. So it lights up that south node. So it looks like you're diving deep enough to set something in motion here. You dove deep enough by the time you get there on the other side of that full moon where you've been able to pluck that jewel out of the void. And it's getting you where you need to go here. So this is a new path opening up. Yeah, it's the birthing way as well. We got vulva of Satyr here. So this is an alchemical act. Yeah, this is going into the delivery room here. And it's bringing the rebirth of Venus. There's the rebirth of the Empress here. It comes in with the number 30. Okay, there's gifts here. Let's see, but the heart needs to be able to receive. That's where all those nurturing waters of the miraculous chalice flow. They flow and connect in the heart space. The heart needs to be able to receive. And that's why there's this moment of pausing, you see? It's all going to pour into you. You got a lot of protection around you. The angels are working with you to help you break the energetic attachments with Cupio Dissolvi here. Things that have blocked up your heart space. And they're going to light your heart fire. You just got to create a little space here, okay, to let this creative energy come in. You do, and you're going to have the eye of the tiger. You're going to have exactly what you need for the longevity of the road ahead. You'll have the endurance for the road ahead, and you'll see very clearly where you're going. You'll feel very supported. Angel number 333, look at that, we got 33 there, okay? Look for this to know when you are getting direct guidance from the angels about helpful influences, assistance, directions, steps you need to take to bring this into being. Because what that is the magnetism of Eros there. Do you see? It's the masculine, the feminine coming into harmony, into union. That's what creates the manifestation. So it's coming in. It's spiraling in here. And we end up right where we began. Because what do we got here? Lasya Parvati. Okay? So, powerful cycle here. Create a little space here so you can really get ready to take this step. And it looks like this is a step you need to bring into form by that full moon. All right, so this is time to really consider this. And once you discover what that step needs to be, you got to focus on the light to nurture it. That's what makes that wheel turn. It is protected. All right? And along the way, have faith in the process and comfort the young parts of you. But get nervous about it because you are dancing with the dakinis, man. Look at this. There they are. You're magnetizing something to you. And it does require you to take action to bring this into being. But this is collaborative dreaming you got going on with the spirit realm there, the upper realms, the skywalker realms, okay? Heaven being brought down to earth, Archangel Jophiel there. It's beautiful. You're getting out of the humdrums. You're getting out of what's left you feeling dull and listless. You're moving out of despondency and despair. You're coming out of the shadow and you're coming into the sweetness of life. You're coming back to life again. And the Chariot is on its way. You'll see. Transmutation point up ahead. All right. I hope that helped. I hope it brought some comfort. I hope it helped you feel that you got this, because you do. Okay? You do. And there's going to be support coming through that's going to affirm that for you too. All right. Take care.